Today I'm going to show you how this $5 3D printed part saved my 1100 horsepower competition car. I think there's like 200 grand spent on this thing in total. It's a money pit, and it's ridiculous to think that this 3D printed cone saved it and is enabling us to even be able to compete this weekend. It's been an issue for a long time. That's why I haven't uploaded for a whole week and a bit, because I've been so fixated and hyper focused on fixing this issue, and then so much other stuff has happened in the time being. But we are back and I've got some stuff to show you. So this here is my G-Force transmission. Now, the last time we drove the car was a test day at Eversu for the new suspension. Everything was great. We aligned the car, and then when we started moving the car, I started feeling the pedal being a little weird and crunchy and odd. Wasn't returning properly and stuff. So, you know, did what we'd normally do, which would be bleed the clutch and stuff, but it didn't fix the issue. We changed masters, slaves, everything. Hydraulics of this are good. Then, after pulling the transmission to dive into it deeper, we discovered some interesting wear lines on our pilot bearing, and then we started to question whether or not the bell housing was perfectly round and all this other type of stuff. And then we started going down the rabbit hole of everything. And no matter what we did, no matter how many times we pulled the trans and put the trans back in, we could not get the clutch pedal to return and feel good when the engine was running, which generally means that something is misaligned. Something is not perfectly flat there when the throwout bearing is pushing on those fingers and everything in the pressure plate. And as it's kind of returning, it catches or gets stuck or can't spin properly, so it gets jarred up. So that's what's happening. Now, I went through trying everything. I got offset dowels shipped out, which took a week to come from the US because no one even knows about offset dowels in Japan or aftermarket steel or cast bell housings. They only all use OEM ones, but that puts your G-Force transmission too far back and introduces other issues. And we can't do that because then we'd need a new drive shaft, and drive shafts take like 3 months to get custom made in Japan. But that, anyways, long story short, clutch is amazing, clutch is good and everything, and we worked out it was a misalignment of the throwout bearing. And I know that kind of makes a lot of sense to a lot of people, but just please understand that these throwout bearings that we use are a 4-post one, and there's no way that these align there, and there is a fair bit of play with this. So like as it's loose, it kind of has a fair bit of play. Now I was using a straight edge from the back of the bell housing to align everything, but it was still ever so slightly out. And then when we made the move from the Okubuki clutch to our new ACT clutch, because the slight misalignment that it had with the Okubuki one, it had worn and damaged the throwout bearing a little bit to the shape of that, which then meant that we had to change a whole new slave, whole new bearing and everything, and then we had to somehow figure out a proper true way to center this. And well, that's where these come in.
So what happened yesterday? I think it was like,
I haven't slept much. It's been a long time.
It was like 12 a.m. or maybe like 11:30 or somewhere.
We've been trying to fix this issue, to be completely honest, for like the last 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, so what this does, and with all the measurements that we did, and thank God Riley was awake late last night and took everything, but this slides perfectly over our input shaft, and then you push it further, and then it centers this. And then we nip that down with the impact, and then we take the bell housing back off the transmission and then make sure 100% it's nice and tight. But that's where I guess I didn't know that we needed this tool, but we made it anyways. I don't even know if they sell this. I assume someone sells something for this, but yeah. We're gonna probably make this file available. I'm gonna talk to Riley and see how we go about doing that, but this will probably save a lot of people if they are using a 4-post slave in any kind of transmission. And if you just open the file in CAD, you can change the inner diameter of this to whatever your input shaft is on your trans. So yeah, that is gonna keep that centered. We've already tightened it, so we know it's centered and good. A-okay. It's amazing, just that little thing. And he made a couple, so I have spares. The scariest thing about this is if that doesn't fix it, I can't risk a faulty clutch this weekend. This is the worst track for that. There is no runoff, there is no safety. If you go outside of the zone lines at Okubuki, you are either in the wall or going over a small concrete barrier into the creek in the valley. So that's also why I'm taking this so seriously. If it was just like a weird pedal feel and I could kind of get used, like put up with it, I would, but that would mean that I wouldn't be able to drive at 100% as well. So I'm glad we got this. I'm glad we got all the stuff from ACT. I've been talking to a lot of people, like a lot.
That pedal, the thing is. Yeah.
It's almost in. It's in. Push the pedal in. Hi, guitar. Okay.
Is that easy now?
Yeah. So much easier when we do it like that. Hopefully this is it. I mean, the good news is we've all been trained now on how to take a transmission out really fast.
It's so small. Yeah. Depends on which tool it is.
Okubuki.
We're going to Okubuki.
And you
Back it up! Dude.
No, hold on. You gotta say thank you to someone.
Daiki! Arigato! Kaitei desu ka? He wants to go home. Well, now we gotta build him a 2J. There's some sad news for Daiki, but good news, really, for him. We'll talk about that after this FT round.
We were all waiting for this moment.
We're all waiting for this moment, but I think it's time to say goodbye to the SR. It's crazy to me that this was our issue for like that being misaligned. But what's crazy though is we somehow had it working totally fine beforehand. I think just how it wore, it finally got to a point where things were broken. But there you guys go. 3D printed part, saved everything. That's insane. But it worked. Why does no one write a freaking manual on this stuff? Like the hardest thing about this entire thing has literally been because no one in Japan really uses this setup. Everyone uses an OEM bell housing, uses a clutch fork because they just don't understand or know how to do any of this stuff. None of it's translated, which makes sense. So they just go to the easier route. But then that puts your G-force so far back that you can't disconnect it from the bell housing and have the benefit of being able to take it out and rebuild it fast and fix it fast in the pits. Switch it out fast. So that's why we went with this route. And I've just been on and off the phone with everyone because no one here can help me. And yeah, and I've tried everyone, like the guy that builds the WRC championship cars in Japan, literally
Had no idea.
had no idea about this kind of setup with a G-force. Anyways, we're gonna bleed it one more time just to make sure there's definitely no air in the system, but the clutch pedal feels great, clutch feels great. That's all I can hope for right now. So stoked. I gotta call some people and say we fixed it. Oh. Now that we've gotten the comp car situation all sorted, a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. I literally didn't know if we were gonna make this round. But if you'd missed out on the live stream that we did about a week ago now, we launched and dropped our brand new Chaser wall ride shirt. So you can see the Chaser doing the wall ride at North Course. That's what all the Japanese says, the sound and everything, and the sparks flying up with the vending machine there. But we dropped this, a bunch of you guys jumped on it, and I was throwing in a bunch of the Ebisu day passes. Well, I cleaned out my cave in and I found 2 more. So for those of you that missed out, now's your opportunity. The first 2 orders that come in from when this video gets live gets a laminated signed day pass at Ebisu Circuit. Well, this is a day pass. This is a Matsuri pass. And this one, I don't think they're making this one ever again. I think this is Winter Matsuri.
No, it's
summer.
Natsu Matsuri 2024.
Yeah, this was last year's one. So that's been in my cave van hiding for the longest
You're
time.
still Australian then, because you looked at August and you went winter.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Anyways, go to SAMMIT.net, grab yourself the new shirt, as well as you might get one of these thrown in if you're the first 2 people. And these shirts are just absolutely fire.
We have them in stock now.
Yeah. But something else I want to talk to you guys and show you is this. I actually made this display out of an old S13 knuckle so that we could have the Neotech coilovers and brakes on display. I'm happy to tell you that we are now selling these on SAMMIT.net as well. If you guys want to get the same brake kit that I have, and they have tons of different options with the coilovers and the brakes. The brakes have like 4 piston options, 6 piston options, and then they're racing the Neotech Evo R series ones that you have on my comp car, and these ones here on display. Also, feel free, if you are visiting Japan, you are able to visit HQ and check this out on display as well. The retail shop, if you just look at Google Maps, we always update our opening hours there, but usually during business hours, during the week is when we're open. You're more than welcome to come, check this stuff out, pick up some merch, and if we're not too busy, usually after you buy merch, the girls don't mind taking you in for a quick tour of the shop. That aside though, let's get back to packing stuff for FD, SAMMIT.net. Just got the bumper back on. My friend Neon-san managed to get this thing back good as new, and as you can see, new Neotech stickers on the car. I think they look awesome. I also kind of moved around and shuffled some stickers and stuff on the front bumper, so it's a little more symmetrical now. So I really like that. Oh, I almost forgot. We need to make sure we get our toe strap through there. There we go. Got that on there. Now we're looking good. Dude, I can't get over how good this looks. Did a really good job fixing that. In literally like 3 or 4 days he did that, so that turned out great. And he just masked over all the flames and the stickers, and you can't even tell that there's different paint. Super cool. We obviously need to put a couple more screws back in here, but car's kind of all back together. I cannot wait to drive this thing at Okubuki. It's one of my favorite tracks. Okubuki is actually the first track that I have ever qualified in for Formula Drift J1. And it's arguably one of the coolest tracks purely because it's kind of like Toge focused in a way. It's the service road to a snowboarding / ski resort. So it's just super sketch, nowhere for you to make a mistake, and there's walls everywhere, and it's just a lot of fun. I think it's pretty safe to say it's like our equivalent of the gauntlet here in Japan, because all the crowd and the grandstands are all around it. It's super small and tight and really cool. A lot of commitment, a lot of fun.
The next day.
The AC compressor exploded. And then if I can disconnect that belt, that's what's stopping the engine from running right now. There's metal shavings everywhere. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's the AC pump. There's melted plastic and shavings everywhere. It's the AC compressor. The AC compressor has exploded. It's not too bad. I think we'll be okay. I just have to
disconnect it
somehow. I need some tools. I need some tools from Daiki. Dude, I wish you could have heard this thing when we pulled into the PA.
There's a really bad noise.
The
car just died.
The motor just blew up. I think the motor just completely blew up.
Yeah, I knew it was smelling funny. Remember when I said, hey, I hope that's not our belt, and you're like, nah, it's coming from outside.
What is with this FD round? Drivetrain issues with the comp car out of nowhere after a great test day, and then the K-van, I thought it just shot a rod out. Like, it literally sounded like we shot a rod out. And then managed to just crawl it into here. Oh, look. No AC is better than no car.
Yeah.
I literally, like, I thought we blew it up because we just did an oil change on it, and I was like, wait, did everyone check that oil was put in the car or something? But there's no lights on the dash.
So the funny thing is, this is just karma for lying about needing a new K-van.
Oh yeah, because I told you that I blew my K-van up. Imagine if it actually blew up.
No.
We'd have to go back and get the Gita. Like, actually, we're not that far away, but that would have been the best move. Okay, so Daiki and Emma are a little bit behind us. They'll be here in a minute. If I can get a pair of wire cutters, I can cut the belt and we'll be good. It looks like the belt's only connected to the AC compressor, so we'll be okay. I'm trying to get a good shot to show you like how bad the clutch is on this compressor, but it's not really letting me shot it, but everything's melted behind the clutch, and then you can see like pieces of plastic that have sprayed everywhere. Like, that's not melted plastic there on that cable there. That is plastic that's melted and flung off the back of the clutch, which blows my mind because why is the clutch plastic on this? Oh, you can see melted plastic that is flung on the bottom of the seat. And then there's like aluminum shavings everywhere from the clutch, just destroying itself. Very hard to get a good shot of that. Worst case scenario, I think we could convince this guy to let us use that car if the K-van's down. We'll do a quick switch. Imagine rocking up to empty with that.
That'd be so cool.
That'd be so cool. The turret through the roof would be awesome. Just like put a water gun on that, spray down the crowd. Shoot. Oh, we're in trouble. We're getting arrested. Good news is still got coffee. Yeah, because we definitely got a lot of oil in this thing. We're good there.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at that clean K-van oil. If you follow me on Twitch, you know we just put a new turbo on this thing, and this thing is boosting and great, the best it's ever felt. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that ran through my mind there of me like thinking, did we forget something or break something? But yeah. I think we can cut the belt. I have scissors in the stationary bag for FD, and I have a cutter. What do you think is gonna work? Scissors or this? Probably this.
Cutter is probably better.
The thing is though, like it's pretty hard to get in there unless I'm under the car.
Do we have ramps and a jack in one of the trucks?
We do in the truck, but if I can just do this here. I'm a skinny boy. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
Draw up the camera before you cut it?
No. Otherwise I'll burn my arm again.
Oh yeah, okay.
I cut it.
All right. Can you pull it out?
I hope that's the right belt. Imagine.
Oh, jeez.
Got it. Ah, it's so hot. Don't touch it, it's like burning hot. Now let's see, will the car start?
Here's the keys.
I left my hat under the car, but we're good. Come on, baby, please start. Hey! Wouldn't start with that on. Woo! We're good. Well, there you guys go. Keep a
Keep
pair of
tools
scissors.
handy.
Yeah. That was not on my playing cards for today. We're back on the road! And nothing's stopping us! All the windows are cracked! We're good! It's nothing like some highway fried rice. Let's go to town, boys. We ain't got time to stop for lunch today. Oh, it's good though, but Riley, could you please turn the aircon on a bit more for me?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, great. Thank you. Yo, what's up, puppy? Oh, that was solid. Just arrived at Okubuki on time. We got about an hour to set up and everything. Everything looks good. Nothing came loose or everything, just except obviously the K-van AC died. But this is probably the best day in Japan summer to have no AC in your car. I'm worried for my drive home though, because it's going to probably be really hot and humid, but nice and overcast and quite cool. So we survived quite well with the windows down. What I want to do now though is give you guys a track walk and show you just how sick this track is. So this is the freaking entry. It's kind of wild. Practice here is quite, it's very time consuming because they send one car and then you do your thing and then you come down and then they send another car. So the entrance, the starting line's down there. It's uphill into this zone 1.
Okay.
So you can kind of see the cones there. If you can zoom in a bit, you can probably see the cones. That's where the starting line is going to be in the big Formula Drift Japan, you know, gate that we go through. Now this kind of, last year, see, this is interesting because I feel like they've moved the zone. I feel like last year the zone started a little earlier, but this is paint and it doesn't look that fresh. So this is zone 1. We're coming up the hill. You want to, generally, I like to hug as close as I can there so that I can do a nice big flick into here. And you need a lot of speed and that momentum to get the car at full angle or really good angle, because they don't want you to do a backy into here, but they want it to almost be a backy into here for the most style points, line points and everything. Rear tire needs to be obviously on the line if you can, and you follow this up here. Now this is probably one of the most dangerous parts about Okubuki is obviously if you have any kind of car problems when you come up this zone here, this is what you're hitting. And these foam blocks, they don't help that much to be honest, but they obviously make it a little less damaging if you smash into the wall, depending on how much speed and momentum you have. But this is where a lot of people get thrown off on their first time, is there's a pretty big bump here, and that will, depending on how your car's suspension's set up, this will actually cause your car to either load up or unload, and you can actually lose traction and your car could over rotate and you'll hit here. So there's a bump here, and that's a high point there, and then there's a low point here. So your car does this thing here, and if you're not prepared for it and don't have a little bit of angle left to be able to save the car, that could end up with you over rotating, crashing here or crashing here. But yeah, long story short, you come around here, rear wheels need to be in that zone coming around with a quick transition against the wall. You want to be flat pressed against the wall all the way around, and then it connects into that last zone there. And then done, track finish.
I think we should show people how that zone at the zone 3 actually is.
This is what I'm talking about with the zone. So what's actually kind of interesting, you can just see the yellow paint here. And this is where the zone used to be. And the zone used to be a lot smaller. So it's quite interesting that the old zone looks like you can see the paint, I think here, no, because it's still here. This is where the old zone, yeah, you can see it. So the old zone used to be here, right? But the zone now starts here. But what I really love about that is look at the distance from there to there. Gives you more room to set up to get into this pocket and get up against this wall. And we can't put our rear, well, I guess depends how collapsible your rear end is, but you can't get your tire on here. You probably want your tire here and leave this space here. Now, look, we all knew going into this round, my rear bumper, it's time to say goodbye. That's what happened last year too. But yeah, nice big wide zone. You can actually see this is the old zone here and this is the new zone here. So they've given us a lot more room. I'm just trying to see, yeah, no, this hasn't moved. So it's kind of wild actually. But yeah, nice big zone comes all the way around there. And then you got to tie it in and connect it there without using left foot brake, which just, it's a lot of throttle, a lot of commitment, and a fair bit of clutch work against this wall to get the car to shoot over into that last final zone. And you're done. And that's Okubuki. Try to have fun without getting too wrecked. And if you're going to F around, you're going to find out real fast here. With that, guys, I think we're gonna wrap up today's video. I'm gonna help the boys unload and get everything set up. There's a bit of rain and wind coming tonight, so we've got to tie things down, make sure everything's all good. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video where we'll be driving this course and having a good time. Peace.